Good morning. My name is Matt Lopes, as they said. I'm an expat who moved here 13 years ago. I've been where you were, and I understand moving from where you were to coming to another country. It's a lot of work. And ARCR actually helped me and my wife prepare to come here. And before we even left our home, I'm from New England, from Connecticut. And in 2011, we had 92 inches of snow around our house and ice. And my wife said, "That's it." And that was in January. July 2011, we were here and we were retired. Of course, I was kind of wanting to work a little longer, but my wife said, "That's it." She was the boss. I came here. And so we've been happy here. We live also in Escazú. And I was here for maybe 6 months when another veteran, I'm an Army vet, um, talked to me about coming to join the American Legion. And I just was thinking, before you retire, you think about a lot of things. I mean, I worked for a long time, 21 years of education before I even started working, and I was happy doing what I did. But when you think about retirement, you think about sitting around, so forth. But there's got to be something to do besides read books and play golf. And I brought my golf clubs, and to this day, I haven't swung it once. So that didn't work. So I joined the Legion. Now, there aren't too many posts here in Costa Rica. And after COVID, they really declined dramatically. I think we're probably one of two posts now in existence in the whole country. And there was a big collapse because of COVID. Most of us are senior citizens, and so we didn't want to conjugate together and spread the virus. And so it kind of dwindled in size. I mean, the membership was maybe, before COVID, maybe 80 or 90 people. Since COVID, we have a cohort now of maybe 20, and 10 come to the regular meetings. Now, our meetings happen once a month on the first Thursday of the month here in San Jose at Costa de España, which is across near the telephone company, and ICE. And it's a nice place. It has a lot of facilities. They allow us to use it because one of the members' wives is Spanish. And so they allow us to use their facility, which is very nice. They have a cook. She makes lunch after the meetings. The lunches are good. And then, we socialize, then we go home. The Casa de España is really close by. I'm not sure if you're going to retire here in San Jose or find another place. But if you come to San Jose, we certainly can have physical meetings. Now, I'm the adjutant, by the way. I should mention. It was a reluctant promotion. I mean, the adjutant is more like a secretary. It's actually more work than I really wanted to do, but I ended up doing it. And currently, the post is, because of its smaller size, really can't hold a full election. And as you may or may not think about it, that in organizations, there are a lot of people, but very few people want to do work. That's the problem. And so getting people to volunteer to be commandant or adjutant or historian, people start looking at their feet and shuffling, unfortunately. But we're still here and we're still working. The post has been in existence since 1957. So it's had a long history. And for most of that time, we've been more or less philanthropic. It's not an association here that you just bend your elbow and drink. That's not who Post 10 is. We've tried to do as much as possible to help Costa Rican children by subsidizing scholarships for them and recently, although Martha was sitting in the back, was here. Martha Rollins, she works with the Quebec Indians, or the native people here. And actually, they're having an Olympic Games or Indian Games in the next month or two. And if you retire in that meantime, you might be able to go up and see what the native people actually do and how they live. It's very different. If you don't come, well, you'll get the information. If you join Post 10 and you Zoom, I presume my colleagues will make sure you get the information. Now, we have also a cemetery. Now, I don't want to be gloomy, but I'm going to be 81 next month. So time flies. And we have a cemetery, which has about 12 plots. And we try to use it. It's actually only 3 or 4 of the plots actually filled. And most of those are with Marines. There is also, I should say, a Marine Corps League. I should shout out to them because it's different. I mean, and they meet separately, and sometimes they come to our meetings. I almost never go to their meetings, but I'm Army, so that's one of those things. But the Marine Corps League uses the facility because we share the crypts. And so people who pass away can, if they're veterans, be buried here. In the past, and trying to get more membership, besides the Zoom component, we have cards, which I can, if there are any veterans here, if they want a card, or if you want cards, I will give you our cards. And we have sent letters to embassies, like the Canadian Embassy, any NATO member, actually, to see that some of the NATO countries don't have embassies here, or don't have affiliations and clubs. So we have invited NATO members who want to participate in a collegial way as veterans to join our posts. They can't vote necessarily, but they can contribute to the overall mission of the post, which is philanthropic. So we've been trying to do that. We also, in the past, had a cadre of people who would go to special events like burials and flag ceremonies. And then in the 4th of July, we used to have a huge ceremony at the cerveceria of one of the, I guess it was the beer company. And they would allow organizations to have a big 4th of July with recruitment, the League of Women Voters, ourselves. There would be a band, Uncle Sam, which was actually the treasurer dressed up as Uncle Sam, passing around. There were rides and ice cream. And that went on for like 5 or 6 years when I was still adjutant. And then the cerveceria decided, I don't want them to use our property. So that died. So then we tried Avenida Escazú, which is in Escazú. It's a nice modern area. And we participated in that. But in the last couple of years, 4th of July has been really every man for himself. And that's unfortunate because we don't have the cadre and the people to really foment new membership. So I'm here to recruit. That's my mission today, should you wish to join. And it doesn't matter if you're gray or black-haired or blonde or whatever, we want you. That's all I can say. And if you're willing to participate, we may even elect you to an office, which is a good possibility, let me tell you. But you have to think about what you're going to do. The nice thing about being in a legion is that you get information. All the other members live in different places, and they can keep you updated on things you may have missed. Living by yourself in an apartment or a condo, if you live in an apartment or condo by yourself, you may not know what's going on around you. So belonging to an organization that has tentacles, even though they're somewhat truncated now, still allows you to get information that makes your life a lot easier. And that is important. I mean, unfortunately, there was an American Colony Association. It was a bunch of a women's league, actually, and they just went out of business. But before they stepped aside, they donated a good portion of their savings into the American Legion Post 10 so that we could still continue our mission. And as I said, there are a lot of organizations after COVID just went south. And so having help from another organization, even though they were going into extinction, allowed us to still increase our ability to help other people. And so I'm asking you, if you're coming here, to think about joining. Now we have an alcr10.org website you can go to. I got my cards I'll give out to you. It shows our treasurer, our chaplain, my adjutant number. And you can call on Waves or, on WhatsApp. I'll take the call and see if you're interested. We can come to a meeting. The first meeting you come to, we'll even buy you lunch. Yeah. Not that we're desperate, but you can see the fellowship and so forth. And we've gotten some new members, and that's helpful. My only problem is I have to do the minutes of all the meetings too. And that's, that's a lot of work. But as I said, I'm retired. So some work is better than no work. And my wife says, go ahead, do your thing. And unfortunately, my wife doesn't speak Spanish. Now, we've been here 13 years, so it's not good. She knows a few words, to get over. But in terms of a conversation, And before I came here, I could probably do a physical in Spanish. In fact, I did do a physical in Spanish, but I was only technical. And then when I got here, because I'm a polyglot, I learned Spanish really easy. And so I use it. But you got to use it or you're going to lose it. It's important. The gentleman, Ivo, was talking just recently about the beaches here. And it rang a bell because I think this morning in the Tico Times, which is a newspaper here, they mentioned the beaches and the hazards of some of the beaches. And they mentioned Jaco, by the way. And so if you get a chance, maybe downstairs they have the Tico Times. Take a peek. I don't know. If you don't speak Spanish, you probably... It's not in Spanish. It's online? Oh, it's online. But look at it because it's informative. And it will help you a lot. Any questions? Any veterans here, by the way? Aha! Okay, what service? Okay, my son went to the Naval Academy, class of 98. And what branch? Airport. Aha. So, see, you could join and we'll be welcome. I was the weekend warrior. Oh, well, listen. Our meetings are the first Thursday of the month. So it's not anything to do with the weekend. So you can come. And, Navy. Aha. Now, listen, I'm Army. But I will tell you, after my son went to the Naval Academy, I was more Navy than Army. I mean, I really liked the Naval Academy and how they treated my son. He was surface warfare. That's a problem. I will admit that's a problem. And but I think, after so many years, it really doesn't matter. It's a good game. I mean, and people sacrifice. And you don't understand how much these young people have to do to get their commission until you've seen what they go through. And then the hazards. I mean, I went, before I retired, and I'm going to quit because I know you guys want to go to lunch. Before I retired, there was a meeting of a lot of us executives, and I was a specialist in HIV and AIDS, but a long time ago. And they asked any veterans in the hall to stand up. And there couldn't have been more than, out of a hall maybe of 300 people, there couldn't have been more than maybe 15 of us. And that was a long time ago. It's very difficult to find veterans now. And that's unfortunate. I mean, we have military, but it's volunteer. And we're still trying to figure out how to connect with them. It's a different world. And maybe getting new blood into the post will have insights into us figuring out how to make those connections. I thank you for your time.